Okay, so you want to talk about cryptocurrency now?
Yeah, crypto. I love it. I love crypto.
Yeah, we are crypto fans, especially you. Okay, so just probably just give the viewers like a quick like 101, like what is cryptocurrency and pretty much like why you believe in cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency pretty much describes a digital financial ecosystem, right? That's running off of the blockchain technology.
Yeah,
And blockchain itself has a lot of benefits, and some of them that I can name off the top of my head is security, right? Immutability. It can't be altered.
yeah,
It's pretty accurate,
yeah.
and it's reliant on the trust of many people across the world, and that's why I love it. Right? It's
That's
the
a key point.
people's money.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
the people's money. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's
Decentralized.
decentralized.
Yeah.
And we actually collabed on a post about the
Mm.
benefits of DeFi, right? The
Yeah.
decentralized finance. So go check that out. It's
Yeah.
pretty informative. And that's why I love cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just a digital currency system that can be used across the world, and
By the way,
it doesn't belong to anybody.
Nick is on Instagram, so go check out his Instagram page. It's I think it's very underrated. Definitely deserves much more followers, and he's like the nicest dude, man. He's like one of the good guys in the
Thank you.
personal finance space. So I'll link him. I'll link his Instagram down on the link below. So go follow him.
I appreciate it, Brian. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's why I believe in it. I believe in the future of blockchain technology specifically, and cryptocurrency. So the main ones is Ethereum, which not only represents a cryptocurrency but it also represents a network that can be used for other things to be built on top of it.
Yeah,
And Bitcoin, which is considered digital gold, it has digital scarcity, and so I like to look at it as a store of value.
absolutely.
And so I invest in those two as my main ones, and then any other projects that come out, I of course do my own research,
Yeah,
and if I support it, I'll invest in it. So other ones include, I'll just let you know, other ones include Litecoin,
yeah,
Cardano, what else? Mana. So the metaverse, the whole metaverse boom,
yeah.
right? It got me really looking into Mana right now.
Fascinating.
Sandbox, and then of course I bought Shiba as a joke.
Yeah. Did you really buy it?
I did, yeah. I bought a thousand
Are you
dollars
still
worth of
holding it?
Shiba. It 3x at one point, which I
Yeah.
should have probably taken out, but
No,
you
you still
never
got
know
it.
these things, and I kind of just
I
held
bought
it for the long
Dogecoin as a
term.
joke, and I still got it.
Yeah, I'm holding on. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
really
yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I actually
down
think
now, but
Dogecoin will
I'm
actually do
not
something
selling.
in the future. It's just got that whole meme thing to it, you know. So yeah, but
Yeah, I
at
mean,
this
if you
point,
look
I'm
into
not
it,
holding it as an investment. It's just kind of like as a joke. If it goes to the
yeah,
moon, it goes to the moon. But whatever.
exactly.
Yeah,
We like to we get you get to a point where you can make these speculative plays and not
yeah,
really have to worry about it or lose sleep over it,
yeah,
and it's just fun to me.
yeah.
That's become kind of my hobby, is just finding assets. I remember you messaged me, was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, stop buying assets."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Stop buying.
that's
Yeah, stop
my
telling me
hobby.
to buy all these assets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, so what I do, my strategy is, or what I recommend for most people is to at least have a foundation of other asset classes before you really get into crypto.
yeah.
So have your ETFs, your index funds, even real estate or cash or whatever, and then start looking into maybe putting 1 to 5% of your net worth into cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
because honestly, no matter what people say, love it or hate it, the blockchain technology is here to stay.
Oh
I
yeah,
truly believe in it.
yeah,
It's been around for quite some time, and I think people are really starting to notice it now, especially institutional money. Billions of dollars of institutional money are pouring into cryptocurrency now, and so big companies are looking into it. They're starting to accept it. They're adopting it. Even countries are taking it on as their
yeah. El Salvador.
financial ecosystem. Exactly, and so that's crazy. Like, you can't ignore that. You can't ignore
Apparently,
that
five other
anymore.
countries is gonna adopt it this year as well. They say analysts are predicting like five
Yeah,
other countries as well. All these, yeah, and I can understand why. Like if your currency, if you can't trust the value in your currency, then like you've got no chance, man. Like you need to like do something about it, right? So I just love that like Bitcoin
exactly.
and other cryptocurrency, like it just saves, it just creates equality among everyone, right? So one Bitcoin
Yes,
is worth the same here in Australia as it is in Japan, it is in the United States, and yeah, that's what I love about it. And you're right, it's the people's currency.
exactly. And so my strategy is to just dollar cost average into it
Yeah,
every month,
yeah,
along with my index funds and ETFs. And crypto is just so volatile that you can't really time it. So, this whole buying the dip thing, a lot of people don't agree with it. I actually ended up just kept buying the dip until I ran out of money this month. So I have to wait until next month. Like, I
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
ran out of money this month
yeah,
because I just kept buying the dip.
yeah,
And so that's just, there's pros and cons to buying the dip. It could just keep dipping and dipping and dipping, and,
yeah,
and
yeah. I bought the dip,
it
but
never
it kept
stops.
on
But
dipping.
yeah, exactly. So it's just super volatile. So if you do get into it, if you're a beginner and you want to get into it, definitely, as a lot of people will say, just put money into it that you're not afraid of losing forever. But I don't think at least the main ones, they're going to be around for a while, and you kind of just throw it in there and just let it sit because, who knows, 10 years from now, you'll be rewarded handsomely if you just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. And yeah, yeah, it's a good thing that you did point out that crypto is something like you need to get all your other stuff in place first. Like you shouldn't, a new investor shouldn't come in and go 100% on crypto. That's just not like, no matter how much like we believe in it, like, and we think it will do well, it just is not, it's still a volatile asset at the end of the day. It could go down 50% at a whip of a coin. So yeah, you need to do your own research. You need to get that, get your, maybe start with stocks and something more stable, and then you look into it. But I think it's one of those things where, like, I don't like to give financial advice, but like, even if I'm telling my friends or something, I say like, even if you don't believe in it, putting like 1 to 5% of your money in there it might be a good idea, like, but obviously you do your own research first. So if you put 1 to 5% money in there and you don't know what you're doing, right? You don't know you don't know what Bitcoin is, you don't know what Ethereum is, and it goes down 50%. You're probably gonna paper hand, right? You're probably gonna like panic sell. So at least know what you're buying into and kind of believe in it. Have a basic understanding of it. So at least like when the time comes that it does go down, then you have the courage to hold through it. But yeah, I think it is something important for people to look as an alternative like asset class. And for me, like, it's already like an asset class. People argue whether it is an asset class, but it's gone to a point where it's just too big to fail. So many like institutional investors are getting into there. A lot of like companies, like big companies going there, like Tesla, Square, like PayPal. They're like very heavily involved in cryptocurrency now, and it's just gonna keep going, like, and with the metaverse coming as well, and the ties to like Ethereum and things like that, it's just endless opportunities, man. Like, I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We can't ignore it anymore, and I certainly didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about other asset classes you're invested in. I'm guessing.
Okay.
No, I'm not guessing, but like, you have some vested interest in NFTs, Pokemon cards, collectibles, things like that. You wanna
Yeah,
let the
yeah,
audience know a
that's
little
right.
bit about what you invest
Yeah.
in?
So of course, I'll just kind of list off the asset classes that I have in my
Alternate.
personal financial statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and alternative asset classes, right? So I'll just list them all out. So obviously we have cash, right? We need to have cash just sitting around just in case. Not to really time the market, but it could be like your emergency fund or a rainy day fund
So how
or
much
just
percentage
having
cash
fun.
would you have?
Good question. Let me check that. I have my thing out right now. 2%.
2%.
Yeah, 2%.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess when you're
I mean, that's
invested in
still
it's
like
still a lot.
$55,000.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so 2% is in cash. Then I have gold, very small percentages in gold. It's actually from Perth. They're
From where?
Perth
Perth.
Mint.
Perth. Oh yeah, the Perth Mint. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I looked
Yeah.
it up. I was like, which one's the most, like credible? And so I just saw Perth Mint and I was like, cool. And I just got these gold bullions. They're like
Yeah.
super heavy, tiny little gold things. So I was like, oh, this is cool. And it was back when I was like, oh, I need to buy more assets. And so
Okay.
I just bought a couple bullions just
And
just for
where do they
fun.
keep them?
And
Do they keep them for you in Perth, or is it in Japan, in a bank somewhere, or do you actually?
in Japan, yeah, yeah. So we have
Yeah.
safety deposit boxes out here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so have some gold. It's just for fun. I mean, it's just cool to have, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know, like a hedge, right? But then obviously we have the stocks and ETFs portfolio, and then the retirement account. I actually don't have retirement accounts anymore. I liquidated all that and put it into the market and into my own brokerage accounts. But my wife still has a retirement account because she's still employed right now. So she's employed right now out here, and that's actually our visa to live out here.
Yeah.
But if we were back in the States, obviously we would both be fire, right?
Yeah.
But she works so that we could live here still. So she's kind of taking one for the team, so I owe
Oh
it
yeah.
to her.
Yeah. Good partner.
But she's in a
Congrats,
job she
wife.
really likes. She's in IT, so she really loves it.
Awesome.
I have real estate, so I have 6 rental properties. That real estate portfolio is worth 1.8 million right now. That's about 64% of my net worth.
Yeah.
And um, then we get into the alternative asset classes. So I have
Oh, the juicy parts.
cryptocurrency. What's up?
The juicy parts, the good parts.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you
Okay.
stand
So
for?
after the boring real estate and
Yeah,
stocks and
yeah,
gold and cash, right? We got the alternative asset classes, and so I have cryptocurrency, obviously, and I got really into Pokemon cards, so I have a ton of sealed Pokemon products. Obviously, I
yeah,
live in Japan, so I get them for like pretty close to retail price,
yeah.
as opposed to the scalp prices in the States. I think I have about $10,000 worth of Pokemon sealed products and graded products right now, and I plan on increasing that number just because I'm out here. Like I would be dumb not to go out and
Oh yeah,
buy
you got to take
hidden
advantage.
gem
Yeah.
Pokemon cards. Yeah. So um, next we have NFTs. I know
Yeah.
you want to talk about
Yeah,
NFTs, but
let's
I
talk
got a
NFTs.
ton of NFTs,
So what
and
is an NFT,
that's a
Nick?
whole nother beast. What's that?
So what is an NFT, Nick? Just for the viewers.
Oh man, NFT is a non-fungible token. So it's a digital piece of art or pretty much digital tokenized anything,
Yeah.
right? It could be a picture, a video, um, music. It could be anything that has been tokenized and verified on the blockchain. And so when you mint an NFT, it is actually has become a part of the blockchain, and ownership is verified on the blockchain. And so you can't just screenshot an NFT and be like, "Hey, I own a Bored Ape Yacht Club now."
Yeah.
Okay, well then prove it. Where's the wallet that you have that holds it? And so the whole point of that is we could get into it and everything like that, but it's just crazy. Like the world of NFTs right now is so new, but what it represents is, I don't know, it just goes far beyond an investment
Yeah.
asset class. It represents a community, digital assets, memberships, and I think I saw an interview with Gary Vee, and he put it in a really interesting way that I never really thought of. That actually makes sense. Is you know how like you have memberships to like country clubs or the gym or whatever, but that
Yeah.
membership is only for you.
Yeah.
But if you have an NFT that represents a membership into these exclusive clubs, you can essentially monetize that. It has become a something that you can actually lease or rent out. And so now these memberships have become assets. You've basically turned your membership into an asset. And so what is an asset, right? It's an asset. Assets put money into your pockets.
Yeah.
And so you could lease out or rent out your NFTs. So case in point, land in the metaverse. I have land in both Decentraland and the Sandbox. That cost me about $30,000, and you can rent those out. And so those are NFTs.
Yeah.
The plot of land itself are NFTs by nature,
Yeah.
but you can rent it out. You can have somebody build their house on top of it. It's just crazy, virtual real estate. And so I just thought that was interesting of him putting it that way. But
Yeah.
there's just so much you can do with NFTs. It's still so new. It's still very volatile. There's a lot of scams out there. You got to be really
Oh
careful.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. I think we had a phone call like 2-3 hours long about what to look for in an
Yeah.
NFT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's just so much. You have to be careful out there. I get messages all the time, ever since starting my Instagram page about, hey, have you heard of this NFT? Buy into it. Click this link. Click
Oh
that.
man,
Don't do
I
that.
get so many of those, man. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
don't do
hey,
that.
but buy this NFT, like it's just yeah. It's just
Yeah,
if people have to be
and
shilling you like into your DMs to sell it, then it's not legit. They shouldn't be doing that.
and you gotta be really careful even on the Discord. So the Discord lately has been getting hacked by scammers, and so never ever ever just randomly blindly click links even on Discord servers, because it could lead you to a place where you can get all of your stuff stolen off of your software wallet, like for MetaMask, for example. So that actually happened to two of my friends. They've lost
Wow,
thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
wow,
And for the love of God, do not give out your seed phrase. Your seed phrase is like a list of words, right, that gives you access to your wallet. If you give that out, that's like giving out your
that's a
PIN
key.
number to your debit
Yeah,
card,
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah,
or the key to your house. Here,
yeah,
come to my house and rob all my stuff. Like, do not give out your seed phrase. And don't fall for that.
that goes for
And don't
crypto as
just
well.
randomly click links.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, NFTs. So my NFT
yeah.
portfolio is sitting anywhere between 100 and 120K, depending on the price of Ethereum. But it's been increasing so much, like the floor price of Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So I bought a Mutant Ape Yacht Club at 15 Ethereum, and the floor price now had just cracked 21 Ethereum.
Wow.
And my specific Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is number 9121, those traits on there are insane. It goes from I think 25 to like 30 Ethereum uh,
Oh wow.
for floor price for those traits. And so remember I was teaching you how to look at traits.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, insane.
yeah. So are those long-term holds for you, or are you
Oh
looking
yeah,
to sell them?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have access. I have members only access to the Bored Ape Yacht Club Discord, which apparently celebrities are a part of, and
You
that
can
in
chat with
itself is
Eminem.
pretty cool.
You can chat with Eminem, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll just tag him and
Just
be like, hey, what's up, man?
wait for him to come on.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you
it's
also
just it
almost bought a
just
Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? When it originally came out.
I know, man. It was probably like 30 to 40 ETH, and I could have
Yeah.
bought it. Now they're over 100 ETH each now.
It's
That's
just crazy to
insane. I
think,
could
man.
have 3x'd my money. Yeah.
You would have to have so much courage to buy at that price, though. Like and then for it to
Yeah,
go
no,
forward during that
I
price as
didn't
well.
even exactly.
Yeah.
I that would have been like my whole Ethereum portfolio, and so I just didn't. I
Yeah.
shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
But
I'm
at the end of the
learning
day,
now
man.
and I'm buying into certain things, and the best thing to do is to mint, right?
Yep.
That way you pay the least amount possible for an NFT, and then you could flip it for more or long-term hold if the project makes sense and has a
Yeah.
long-term view.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to do a separate video on just NFTs and like how to
Yeah,
apply
absolutely.
NFTs. How you taught me as well. Like with our nice 3 hour session that was supposed to last 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can do that
That was
another
fun.
time.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll just tell you my next move. So my
Oh
next
yeah.
move is to actually acquire a already cash flowing online business and then optimizing it.
Yeah.
Outsourcing SEO specialists, outsourcing contractors to basically increase the revenue on that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on Empire Flippers, Flippa, Quiet Light, Motion Invest, Biz Buy Sell, things like that.
Can you like kind of break that down for like the viewers? Like they might be confused what you mean by like a cash flowing machine like online. Like can you just
So it could
simplify a bit?
be a website that runs ads, or a blog or something like that, or a drop shipping website. A lot of these people they build this up from scratch, and so instead of me wasting time building up from scratch because I don't know anything about how to create a business, an online business from scratch,
Yeah.
a lot of these people they build these from scratch and they want to cash out and maybe start another project. They don't want to deal with this online business anymore, and so they'll put it up on a brokerage, for example, like Empire Flippers, and then they'll sell it. And so when you acquire these websites are 9 times out of 10 hopefully already cash flowing, and so once you acquire it for a set price, you negotiate the price,
Mm.
it's already going to start cash flowing into your business account or whatever account you have set up. And the whole point is you're trying to target, just like with real estate, you're trying to target kind of distressed websites, maybe something that you can increase the uh, ad revenue on, right? And so it has a ton of potential for growth.
Yeah.
And I've read and watched a lot of videos and read a lot of articles of people who that's all they do. All they do is acquire online businesses and optimize the search engine and uh, you know improve the AdSense
Yeah.
and ad revenue, maybe affiliate marketing, maybe add it to Amazon, for example, if it's a product, if it's a drop shipping website, they can move their presence onto Amazon.
Mm.
And so you can easily turn something simple into like a six-figure business or even a seven-figure business with the right team in place. And I think I have the capability to do something like that for sure. And the capital I can borrow against my
Awesome.
portfolio. I can save up money for that and just buy it outright, or I can apply for a SBA loan
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah. So it just like it's inspiring that like even though you've achieved fire, like you're this type of guy. You've got entrepreneur like investor blood in you. You can never sit still. Even if you had $1 billion, I bet you'll be doing something, right? So I think that's just one of those
Yeah,
things where you
exactly.
just keep going, yeah. Like
Yeah, I
there's no end in sight. Like once you get to that level, I think I watched a video by Andre Gik recently, and he actually mentioned about
yeah,
this, and he was a proponent of fire as well. He was like, I get to $1 million, I'm sitting pretty. I'm just gonna live on the 40,000 a year. And if you know Andre Gik, he's a YouTuber and he lives a pretty frugal life, and he just wanted to do that. But then he said once he got there, he's like, no, I need more. I need more. I need to go here. And it's not because he's money greedy. It's just that he wants to achieve his potential. You know, you only have one life, so you
exactly.
wanna achieve as much as you can, right?
I agree, man. It's cool that you said that because when I had this 5-year plan written out to hit $1 million.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be this emotional event when I hit 1 million, and it wasn't. It just, I hit 1 million. I was like, okay, great. Now here's to
That's
the
what
next
everyone says,
million.
man.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was never like this emotional thing. It was just like,
Mm.
okay, great. Even when I hit my first 100K, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, cool. I don't even remember when I hit
Yeah.
100K, and that's supposed to be like the big milestone, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, keep going,
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. It's just something in our mind like that,
Exactly,
right?
man. Yeah. Yeah. You're never gonna stop. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And yeah, with that, so with that business, are you looking to sort of optimize it and you just keep it as kind of like a cash flowing machine, or if there's an
Yes.
opportunity, would you win to flip it, or what's your end game with this?
Just cash flow. I'm
Yeah.
focused on cash
You love
flow.
your passive
I
income, yeah.
want to increase cash flow. Yeah, passive
Yeah.
income.
Passive income for the win.
Yeah, because I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want my wife to be able to do what they want. And,
Yeah.
I have kids too. And so I'm already
Yeah.
teaching them. They're 2 and 4. Obviously, the 2-year-old, he's too young to understand. But the 4-year-old, he's understanding these concepts that I'm teaching him, like budget, saving money,
Yeah.
um, making money, investing. I'm teaching him
Yeah.
these like little concepts because it's stuff that I wish I had known growing up. And
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
going to make him learn as much as he can
That's awesome.
while he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon
And
he'll
so
be
I'm
buying
really proud of it.
he'll be buying like chocolate bars from like candy shops and flipping them out at school for like twice the
Yeah,
price.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, awesome, man.
They'll both be
All right,
good.
let's talk about your Instagram page and like kind of like like I want to know why you started your Instagram page and why you focused on like personal finance and like what you want to achieve from this page.
Yeah, so we're the same age, so growing up in our young adult lives, finances was such a intimate subject. Like
Mm,
no one would talk about it.
taboo.
Uh, they always taught us never talk about your salary, never talk about how much money you have, this and that. And so when I had reached financial freedom, or I had started working towards it, there was a lot of people, they started to ask questions about it. And the more people I talked to, the more I realized that people were not in good financial situations.
Mm,
And I realized, like, it's a common theme here, right? You're spending money that you don't have to buy stuff that you don't need to impress people that don't care about you. And that is a really widespread issue, honestly, with our age group and even younger
mm,
age groups. And so the more people who got comfortable talking to me about finances, the more I felt comfortable opening up about it. And so on my personal page, which you also have access to, I
yeah.
started sharing personal finance posts, and mixed in with like funny videos and memes and stuff. But I started showing more and more personal finance posts, and I started showing my own, being transparent with my friends at first.
Yeah.
And so the more I did that, the more people started messaging me like, "Hey man, this is really helping me out. Just know that you're really helping a lot of good people. Putting out a lot of good information there. You're helping us out.
Yeah.
You should probably start your own page."
Yeah.
Because it was just my personal page at first. And so I did. I branched out, and I started New Money Nick, and I started posting all of my personal stuff on there. I'm very transparent. I don't care anymore. It's like, if that's how I want to build trust with the audience. I want to be vulnerable with you guys first before you're vulnerable with me. And so I actually did financial coaching for a while. I had about 12, 15 clients at one point. And eventually I started realizing, like, I was trading time for money, and I'm not really about that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not like the hustling phase anymore. And so I kind of stopped doing that, and people were flaking on me. And I just didn't want to deal with that. I wasn't structured to take clients on at that time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they were all pretty positive reviews about it. And um, that's why I started the Instagram pages, because I wanted to share what worked for me, in hopes that other people are inspired to get their finances straight. Because if it's just a regular guy from California who got out of a ton of debt and was in the military, I never made more than $40,000 a year. If I could reach, millionaire status, literally anybody can reach it.
Yeah.
It just starts with your mindset and your habits, your behaviors. That's honestly what it starts with.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like I don't want to make it seem like it's possible. It's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. Absolutely. It's not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah.
That's why I started my page, is because I wanted people to take back control of their finances. And even if I could just help one person, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I've kind of had the same mantra as well. Yeah, just if you can help one person, it makes a huge difference. You know, like little things make big things, and I think like especially us growing up in an Asian environment as well, right? Like I think money is kind of like taboo, and we
Yeah.
never talk about investing, and investing was only seen as real estate, which ironically is what made you a millionaire in the end.
Yeah.
But like it was always just like savings and real estate. We never look into other asset classes. Like, you know, if I told my Asian parents about like, you know, crypto and NFTs today, they'll probably hit the roof as well. You know, so it's good to like have this kind of education and just not see money as taboo. You know, like we all need money at the end of the day. I don't think money is evil. You know, like money is a means to an end for me. It represents freedom for me. So
Exactly.
what we're trying to do is accumulate money in the best way we can, just to buy more time for us. So they say, um, you can't buy happiness, right? But then money can buy you more time, right? Time with your family and time with your
Absolutely.
friends. For me, that's happiness. So in a way, money kind of does buy happiness, you know. So yeah, that's good,
Exactly.
man. And I really appreciate the mantra you live with and what you're doing for the personal finance community as well. You're one of the good guys, as like I said.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And disclaimer, I mean, it took me at least 10 years to reach this point. So
Yeah.
just have a long-term horizon is my point.
Yeah. And like you
Long-term
said before,
outlook.
like it's not that easy but achievable. But I'll also add that like it's you I think it's not hard, but the hardest part is the discipline and the consistency, right? You know, like if you
Yes.
continue to dollar cost average into like an S&P 500 fund, statistically, right, in the long term, you're 100% like likely to make money. That's just the stats, you
Yeah.
know. And if you keep doing that, it's all about give and take, you know. Like I always like the conversation we had the other day about coffees, right? Saving coffees. Don't
Yeah,
focus
yeah.
on like saving like, you know, 20-cent coffees or whatever. Don't worry about that. You focus on the
Yeah.
bigger things, like, you know, save your money, like accumulate your assets, make your nest eggs as big as you can, and like let the market do its thing. But at the end of the day, you have to stay consistent and disciplined, and that's the main thing, you know.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree, man.
Okay, so just going, just I think last question before we wrap this up. We promised to keep this
Hmm.
under an hour, right? I think, well, how long has it been? It's been an
Yeah.
hour now. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. So I guess like I just want to end by saying like, you know, we talked about a lot about like financial advice, and even though it's not financial advice, but we're talking about like financial tips and things like that, and what beginners can do to like improve their personal finances. But what's your best non-financial tip that you could give to like a new investor or someone just like starting out?
Yeah, so I have a couple, and I'm only gonna I'll just list out like, just a
Yeah,
couple,
go
but
for it, man. Go for it. I was
I'm
just
only
kidding
gonna
about that 1 hour. You can go as long as
expand
you
on
want.
two of them.
Yeah, you can go
What's
as long as you
that?
want. I was just kidding about that 1 hour. You can go as long as you want.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read them out right here. I have them
Yeah,
written
go
down.
for it.
So never stop learning, right? Always self-educate.
Yeah,
Number two is don't take crap from anybody.
yeah, yeah.
Number three is know your worth, and then the last one is self-care is absolutely important.
Oh yeah,
And those two in the middle are pretty self-explanatory, right? Don't take crap from anybody and know your worth.
yeah,
But the one I want to expand on is the first one, which is never stop learning, and then the last one, which is self-care. So never stop learning is I was able to achieve what I achieved is because through self-education. There was nothing in school that taught me
yeah,
these skills that helped me achieve fire. It was everything from online articles, YouTube videos, just hours and hours and hours of educational YouTube videos, podcasts, hours of podcasts, audiobooks,
yeah,
hours of audiobooks.
yeah.
I don't read books. I was just never a big book reader, but I do listen to books and I do listen to book summaries on
Mm,
YouTube. That is super helpful. It just cuts all the fluff out of it and it
yeah,
just tells you the main key
I
points.
agree.
And so
Yeah,
what I do is I'll look at a book summary and I'll watch that same summary but with different content creators because maybe they'll cover different things
yeah,
that the other creator might miss. That's what I've done.
yeah,
Just a ton of research because you want to expand your mind on everything outside of finances. You can expand your mind on just just your lifestyle in general and just have a better spiritual connection with your life and maybe find your purpose and justification for what you do. It doesn't have to be with finances. It could be with improving your skills and your trade at your job, you know, or improving your own well-being mentally. So that leads me on to self-care. And so
Yeah.
self-care could mean many things. It could mean like, for example, just as an example, my whole working life, I busted my butt for the company. I'm a really hard worker. I have really good work ethic, but it took me so many decades, or sorry, it took me so many years to realize that the company doesn't really care about you.
Yeah.
As horrible as that sounds,
It's true.
I put in all these years at these companies, and they just give you a pat on the back.
Yeah.
I've worked through many lunches. I've worked through, sacrificed a lot of hours, thinking that they would give back, but they never do. So, and then it wasn't until my one of my supervisors in the military was like, "Hey, man, you got to stop. You got to stop working through lunch because you're expendable. If you were to drop dead right now, you would get replaced immediately the next day, and no one would even bat an eye." And so when he told me that, I was like, "Oh man, I gotta change my ways." And um, throughout my working years, I was just putting my job ahead of everything, and that's just, in my opinion, that's just not the right way of going about it. You gotta know your worth. You gotta take care of yourself first and foremost, because those companies honestly really don't care about you. And uh, case in point, one of my jobs that I had, I worked there for a couple of years, never took a single day of sick leave, for any reason, because I thought it would give me brownie points for some
No,
reason
it
or
doesn't.
whatever, but it doesn't. And
No.
so a lot of people are like, man, you had all these, I had over a month or 2 months of sick leave or whatever, and they're like, man, you didn't take any of this, and I was like, no. But
Yeah.
I changed that mentality quickly, once I got to my last job, and from there, I hit fire and quit. So self care is huge. Your mental state is the foundation of everything. You can't work, you can't perform if your mental state is not taken care of. And so that's just my non-financial advice: is never stop learning, don't take crap from anybody, know your worth, and absolutely focus on self-care. Do not neglect self-care.
No, that's really good, man. And just I think add to that self care. I think you mentioned like mental health as well, but also I think it's important to add physical health as well. Like you gotta like look
Oh
after your
yes.
body as well. Like you gotta eat well. You gotta go to the gym and do what you need to do, because in the end, like what's the point of like getting all this money, right? And if you're too old, if you don't live it long enough to enjoy it, So yeah, just a little thing I want to add on. And I like the thing that you said about the podcast, the audio books, and all them. I
Yeah.
think I thought I was the only person that would like listen to like snippets of like YouTube on audio in the gym. I've got
Yes.
my headphones on and I'm listening to Graham Stephan talking about buying S&P 500 funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I met you, and then you were doing the same as well. And what I like to do is like I like to like like now that I'm a father, right? I need to be as time efficient as I can. So any minute of my day, I want to be just continuously improving, learning. And I think that what you brought up is like really really good. You always want to be continuously learning, and you got to make time for it as well. So like when I'm going to work, I've got those podcasts on in my car. I listen to it on the way to work, on the way back. Just find a way to get in those hours. So it's really important. Yeah, yeah, it's good, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree,
and
man. Like the moment you think you know it all, that's when you're gonna start
yeah,
failing.
that's when you stagnate. Yeah, and
Yeah.
one thing I would add personally for my non-financial tip, I kind of like mentioned it before, right? I grew up as an only child, so I didn't really have any role models like growing up. Like obviously I have my parents that I learned from and things like that, but no one like around my age. So I've always latched onto my friends, right? I always look what my friends are doing and everything. And if they weren't doing something, I'm like, why should I do it? And I think if you want to go far, I think you need to get rid of that mindset. You need to realize you are the hero of your own story, right? Everyone else is like a secondary character, and like it's hard to it might be, it sounds strange to say, but no one cares about you. Like they do care about you, but they don't care like what happens, what you're doing, right? So don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna start a YouTube channel because my friends will make fun of me. No one cares, at the end of the day, no one cares. So I think it's good to have that kind of like mentality where if you don't have to follow the herd, right? It's okay for you to go onto a train that not everyone else is going onto. So I think the older I grow, the more of that mentality I believe in. So yeah, I think that would be my tip for anyone like starting off. If you're like young, if it's okay to take a risk when you're young, because you've got decades and decades ahead of you to if something bad happens, right? You got decades to recover from. So it's a bit harder for us now. Like we're in our 30s at the moment. Even though we could theoretically take more risk, it'll be a bit harder for us now. We've got families and kids like that, right? So I guess my tip is when you're young, it's okay to take risk, and it's okay not to follow your friends and follow the herd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I agree.
Okay, man. I think we're kind of ready to wrap it up. Unless you want to say any closing statements or anything you want to say to the audience.
Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to blow up, man. No, I'm
I'm
just
not
kidding.
gonna help you out. No, seriously. Follow Nick on Instagram. I guess Nick_new money, or
New money _ Nick.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll link that down below anyway. I'll put this up on Instagram
Appreciate
and YouTube.
it.
So
Yeah,
go follow
we
Nick.
do. I don't know. You see my page, man. It's all random stuff. We try to hit on everything: Pokemon cards, crypto, NFTs, personal finance,
No,
fire, stocks.
He's a good dude, and it's got a good information. So yeah, go check him out. Yeah.
Thank you.
So just
Thank you,
Nick,
man.
just thanks for coming on this show, we'll call it, and for this interview. I'm like I always like listening to your story because it's very inspiring, and like both your personal and like your financial achievements. And I think a lot of the viewers can like look up to someone like you, and it gives them hope. Like an average person from a humble beginning, like from immigrant parents, can like achieve fire and doing what you do now. So it's very inspiring. So thanks a lot for coming on this show, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me. The pleasure's all mine, and thank you for helping me out when I was starting out my page. You were so helpful. Super nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, we'll wrap it up, and we'll have to do a part 2 about that NFT.
I know, man.
Yeah, so
it's crazy.
Notes
okay.
Then, yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Let me know the questions or whatever.
All right, cheers, mate.
All right, take care, brother.